Cosmo with ZCED Online. We're talking about a brand new webinar series that we're coming up with. It's myself, Pete Cosmo, and my friend Don McCarty, who is an audio engineer and a creator of Satori Sounds, really dealing with audio brainwave technologies. So we're going to be talking about what this series of 4 webinars is really all about. The very first one is free to the public. It's an introduction, really letting you know what these technologies are for and what they can really do to help us to really find success in our life. Don, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you, Pete. I hope you're well as well.
I am. So tell us, there's actually 3 basic types of technologies in this. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes, it's what we like to call an audio soundscape. So it really is a blend of many different things, but the core technologies that we call the brain entrainment technologies are primarily binaural beats, isochronic tones, and what are called solfeggio frequencies. Sort of tough to say.
Now, if I understand this correctly, the brain actually functions at different vibrations or frequencies. And what these sounds do is they mimic the desired frequency that we really want to resonate on. And they help us to achieve that level in our brain through audio waves. Is that true?
That's correct. Yes, the idea of entrainment is kind of a mysterious word that's bandied about, but basically it just means following along response. So the brain, which I would also say would be the consciousness itself, since it really we would consider the brain to be sort of the center of that, at least traditionally speaking, that we operate as an energy being, if you will, and we're operating at cycles per minute. And basically, depending on how fast these cycles per minute or seconds, you can determine these states that we like to base their, there's a lot of middle areas, but they're put into some categories for general use that people are recognized, such as delta waves, which are generally associated with sleep. And then there's the beta, which isn't talked about a lot, but that's basically the waking state where we're at right now. These are frequencies, and the faster the frequencies are, the beta being generally the fastest one that we operate in on the normal daily experience, is considered our normal waking state. And then there's an alpha state, which we've probably heard of before. Some popular peak performance and focus methods use the alpha wave range for their to enhance their success of their techniques. Is a range that in a general conscious experience might be considered that real creative flow. You're energized, but you're in this flow. It's not just your normal whatever state. You're really fired up and kind of feel like you're, what do they say, firing on all cylinders and really working at your best. And then there's the theta state, which is oftentimes associated with relaxation, meditation. That is a state that's kind of a transitional state, generally on your way to falling asleep. And so, many techniques, mindfulness meditations, ancient techniques of meditation, all have been kind of, centered around creating their own sort of entrainment, if you will, to bring your mind into that state and try to stay in there as long as possible, maybe before you drift off or you can't, focus longer or whatever. But it's sort of another way to cause that following along response. And so what we are trying to share with our, I don't know if you call them students, are the members of our new courses. What we're trying to share with the world is the idea that you can go down a traditional path and you can spend a lot of time learning how to meditate and, following these noble endeavors. And that's a wonderful thing. But I personally like the technologies like these where you can achieve the same results in minutes without any training, because it's the power of sound. And the power of sound is so strong that within a few minutes, you can reach desired states of mind without any formal training to meditate at all. In fact, in most cases, these particular types of tools are used, to enhance certain states of mind. But I postulate that just listening to them without even an effort, like, while you're vacuuming the floor or doing something else, doing dishes, just without even trying to say, okay, I'm trying to meditate and this really cool technology is helping me get there, without just that at all, without any of the trappings of any of that lingo that's, could be considered spiritual, or I could never do that or whatever, without any labels on it, just listening, you can experience that with no religious affiliation or intention of any sort, just the idea of one person saying to themselves, I would like to be more relaxed right now, or I'd like to be more focused right now, or I would like to be in a state where I'm not as worried. I'd like to study better, or any number of practical uses. So I think I think that should suffice as an answer.
I think so. And I think it's really interesting how it's sort of a mirroring of, decades or really centuries of like music theory as well as natural sounds as well. Because, to me, I always tell people that nature is always in line with spirit. So if you want to get in line with spirit, one of the quickest ways is to go into nature. And you're marrying these two different, really, I don't know if the word is techniques or really tools that we have to really, like you say, instantly, or not maybe instantly, but very quickly bring people into their desired states. And I love how you're talking about how it's not like you have to walk in with this mindset of, I'm going to be relaxed, but it's just about, having the experience and just allowing yourself to naturally get back in alignment, because I truly believe that our natural state of being, is alignment with spirit, and to really, be in those spaces that are the most conducive to whatever it is that we desire to bring in. Would you agree?
I do.
I love it. And so we really have this basically set up into 4 different formats. The first one being the free webinar, which is just talking about right here, the introduction. And then we're going to have one talking really about how to find that instant peace, in your chaotic world. And it's really talking about how, you don't have to go up on the mountain for 30 years and really meditate, but within, 30 minutes or less, how you can really bring yourself into that space where you're more open. Because I think it's when you're in that kind of that monkey mind, you're right here where you really feel cut off. And this is about kind of opening yourself up really to the universe more, and really finding out how to quickly get yourself in that alignment. And then we're talking about really the next one, unlocking the powers of your mind, where we're really finding out how we can use these tools effectively, and like maybe deciding what is the best state to be in this time and what tool takes us there. And then the last one is really about resonance, the key to success, about how we really teach, or we're both going to be teaching, I suppose, about how, whatever frequency you're putting out is the frequency you're getting back. So really being conscious about the frequency that you put out so that you're getting that resonance of the correct frequency coming back that you wish to be in, to bring in the life you desire. Does that concur with you about what the basis of this is?
Yes, that's a really good overview. If we want to break that down, what do they call that? We could unpack that a little bit.
Okay.
The 4 segments, just, quickly, we're going to give you a rundown of what a lot of these terminologies that you may or may not have heard before. We're going to take away a lot of the mystery of it. We're going to open up the opportunity for a person to see these as a tool for their daily life. So we will speak in terms of, that's one of the reasons why this project works really well with the work that you do, because you have a defined spiritual connection that you are using for your light workers service. So the kind of work that you do with other people is a direct spiritual type of thing, I guess you would say, would be fair to say. And a lot of other areas that, the spiritual arena is very traditional, the new age arena, very traditional for a lot of these things. A lot of people have heard these technologies. As well, it's being introduced in the last, 20 years now into the performance field, because the actual technologies have been showing great promise in studies. So you see the concept of creative visualizations, or these certain relaxations techniques, or these energy states to get into, are used for accelerated training for a variety of sports. You can go into a lot of different kinds of ways that rolls out. And so where someone like you or a lot of other members of our spiritual community are using a lot of these techniques to make connections, enhance their connections, meditate, a lot of this sort of thing. That's not really it's just there for anyone to use on a daily basis. And so that's why our first of our 3-part series following the introduction is all about how you can use these things immediately. There's a lot of, I don't want to say mental baggage, but I would venture to say a lot of people get certain types of pushback or thoughts about the meditative thing. It's going to take too long. It's a kind of a weird, floofy, religious type thing. It's not really my thing. But we can all understand the stress of trying to deal with this hectic life that we've created in this modern age. And so this is a way of using a modern technique to help a modern person in a modern world, so we like the marriage of this technology with the spiritual community, but it's also an everyday tool for the workplace, an everyday tool for the home, an everyday tool for studying, an everyday tool to add to modalities for healing, an everyday tool. It pretty much covers it. And the way this technology works, if you were to be having a stressful moment, well, you just need a few minutes, sit in your car, maybe not while you're driving. You don't want to get too relaxed. You want to be focused while you're driving, but I meant just as a private space. Maybe you're at work, you're having a tough time, someone's riding you, you're getting worked up. You don't want to allow that to continue. What you don't realize is that the entrainment that we are talking about in this technology is actually the same level of entrainment that years of practice by training your body and all these things, these cues that are sent to the mind, which help it get in line with that state of mind that you're seeking. It's happening to us all the time. That dominant personality that walks into the room is creating an entrainment energy field. And if you ever wonder why a dominant personality walks in the room, some of those people are, you're just feeling kind of odd or whatever, you feel in alignment. And think about it as even as something as simple as if somebody says, oh, I got poison oak on that hike that I went on or something. If you're like me, you kind of feel it. Wow, do I feel it? Do I feel an itch? I mean, you have these mirror neurons in your brain that are designed to get you in a line to feel what other people are experiencing. And your brain seems to be just out there open to dominant energy fields. And using these sorts of techniques, you can learn to change that. You can create the energy that you want to live in instead of being subject to these without any control.
I love that. Really, it's really about how to easily and quickly be able to take back, I think, control and power of your own life and the direction that you're heading in using the modern tools. So I think that's really, really very exciting. So I would invite everybody to come at least look at the introduction, take a look at buying the whole series. And with the series, you're actually not only going to hear about the tools and techniques, you're actually going to receive the actual tools that you can use in this everyday world.
That's right. That's right. We have currently 6 albums in the Satori Sound collection, and I have a special deep meditation track that I'm going to throw in for our students that are part of the entire course. That'll be a give out on our last 4th gathering. And yes, essentially, if you take the 3 courses, you get all 6 albums in the set. And if you take one, we're basically giving away 2 albums in the set. And I don't know, I might change my mind and just give the whole album set to everybody that joins the class. I don't know. This is about helping people understand the power of this modality. And we really are users of this products. All of us use this product. I designed these products for myself. I created a life of a stressed out IT engineer, developer, complete classic stereotypical dogma of life that I created, and all of the stressors, all of the typical behaviors and problems emerged from that kind of lifestyle. And this technique was a godsend and a lifesaver for me. And so I tried a lot of similar techniques that used a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And I saw where they were working. But these technologies in their core state were hard for me to listen to. I didn't just want to listen to ocean waves. I saw all these different technologies. And so I decided to take my IT skills and engineering skills and musical background and garnish all of these technologies into one palette and then create an environment that was nourishing, relaxing, and interesting for the mind, as well as highly effective. So we really hope a lot of folks join us, because you just by joining, you'll pretty much get more than you paid for. If you join the class, you'll get more. It's a great deal, and we really are excited about sharing this with
Absolutely. I think it's perfect right at the beginning of the year to really be starting this. The first one's going to be January the 5th, and then each corresponding Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time is when these events will occur. Of course, this will also be available for the replay with the same deal as well. So we ask everybody to come and join us and take a look at our other plethora of coursework and presenters that we have at ZCED Online. We've got some really exciting, amazing things really for almost every area of your life if you're ready to really move forward and call forth the life that you desire. Don, I appreciate you being on here with me. And
thank you. Thank you. You as well. We appreciate you allowing us to be part of the ZCED online group, and excited to see you in class. Have a nice
All right. Happy learning.